Today with another video. Today we're playing Wright, It's Eternity, the trilogy. So let's go, and this was last episode.
All you youngins are like the nowadays. Well, tomorrow saying that the other one of the tell me you knew clutter back and then the crying since you leave blah blah blah. Grrr.
And now we're back. Courtroom. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edworth. Your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Cameron in the Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir, I explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the Studio C. This here is the employee area. The actor did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Cameron, went to Studio 1. Right after that, 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged into the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? Why not? I'm sorry, could you describe that one more time? I said no, it would be you, pal. Fine, one more for the mentally challenged lawyer. Yeah, live it up while you can, Gumshoe. To answer this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actor did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is my gate. The security worked. Past the security center, there is a gate, see? Past there are studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October, there was only 3 people yet. But that's wrong though. There was more than 3 people there. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. There was more than 3 people. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I? No. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor. This case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Oh, I don't want to do her a voice. sees a noise. He talks too fast. Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, Derry, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please! Seems Edwards has a bit of a trouble getting his witness to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, Derry. So even when I was young, I was still have the others. Can you believe me? The captain of the Chester, he called me an old bag, and I just. Objection! I object to the witness talkativeness.
Objective sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, Derry.
Well, I can't even read all that. I can't even say all that before it disappears. Man! Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yeah, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, Derry.
You may begin your testimony. She, sir, is one hell of an old bag. Witness testimony, witness account.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the gas station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest has been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the gas station. I was at the main gate from them till 5. Now the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
You saw the defendant then, Very well, let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station. I was some errands. Anyway, I was at the main gate. Now the murder happened at 2. What time did it happen? Maybe at 2:30. Yeah, it was. Nick, doesn't she seem like she's enjoying this a little too much? Windbags love gossiping about other people's misfortunes. Can't she get her kick somewhere else? On the day of the murder. What kind of errands? What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Answer the question!
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too. You could quite be in a spirit medium and take up guard duty.
Not a bad idea. Anyway,
Yeah, I was at the main gate from. Two. You sure?
Sir, I spite.
Well, who was the man?
Really, you should try not to get excited. At your age, you might strain something. Now, don't get your skids all in the buns. I tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
Oh. Now the murder happened at 2. How do you know? So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I say it again. It was him.
Secret weapon. Object. Let me get this straight, old bag, Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai Defender of Neo Tokyo. Mrs. Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sins, honey? Anyone can plainly see that Powers, right?
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Mr. Witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Huh? Even Edward's surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information you're possessing ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give a second look.
Wow, old Windback have left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. What is your proof? Alright, man in the photo.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She got to be hiding something. I press her until she squeals. I never say anything I don't mean. I saw Powers, he broke. Apparently he sprained his ankle, you can see. That's how I knew. Well, Nick, find any glaring contradictions. Well, she seems pretty sure that was Powers in the photo. I guess I just press her and see if I can shake her conviction. How do you know he sprained his ankle? Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus, the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot? Okay. Are you actually sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. So he was walking strangely because he was injured? It does look like he was dragging his foot.
See? And you didn't trust me, Whippersnapper.
Still, you can't look at this and say, it's Mr. Powers! Yes, but only Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg.
He has a point. It does seem quite likely that it was Powers.
There gotta be more to this. I better keep pressing her. That's how I knew it was Powers. Why not this?
Whippersnapper.
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I have you now. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I say, you...
Oh, no, the point is, no, okay, oh, you... Mr. Wright, please, for all of our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edwards has met his match. Trip and fall. Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai, wanna laugh.
So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over the part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the... What prop? He broke a prop. Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear, the murder weapon. Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a sister's detail. I better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear update in the court record. I think we heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... Where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it's clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not calling camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Hammer who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. But see... The time of poor Hammer's death... The only person I saw go... You went there! What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.?
Why? Everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention... if they had, I would have seen them.
One back, sir, has balls. Oh, well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after, or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking pass by at all.
Nobody's suspicious looking, right?
No one else went there.
What about before? Oh, I read it. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyway, going into the studio has passed by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy. Old windbagger has ball. Oh, yeah, I already. How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. I have to find something. It was 2:30. What am I? The only person. No one else went there. No one else went there. I really don't know. I'm lost of words. Yeah, I saw go to serve before them was Will Powers. If they had, I would have seen them. This evidence clearly reveals the content in the statement, Your Honor. No, you would. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sir, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studios, we might have an opening.
Have your computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. photo 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo 2.
Photo 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was the only photo? Order, order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's why I want to ask the witness. This evidence showed that not one but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. 2 could have erased the data for the other photo. Only someone with access to the security later herself.
You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will's Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these new fangled computer things. Edgy boy, help.
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too.
What?
Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Miss Oldback?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate, someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you can put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please. Oh, brother.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one another important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computers and check them. I threw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldback, this is the first I heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kinda expected this. Every day. Come on, think of it. Couldn't she have think of that a little earlier? Classic old windbag maneuver, Maya. Might be a useful tactic to remember for us in my future careers as a wingback. Let's find out more about this erased photo.
After day, after I finish my guard duty.
Alright, I got through. Well, who in the heck was it in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
A fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh know where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and...
And?
They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably second or third grade.
what? Order! Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about second or third grade.
Oh yeah, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in second or third grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear.
Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on?
I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. On 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers!
Yes!
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it. Really? What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick! What are we gonna do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. And it takes them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sound like that.
Court will now convene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution throughout on this matter? The prosecutors, though, are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have many not be hard evidence. But there's still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense agrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Don't make me pick between the kid and the... Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great, as if the stakes were high enough. So who is the person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the... But the thing is, he likes Jackhammer. It could be her. It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. No, of course. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember, the photo wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lamb? He was dragging his foot. Oh, uh-oh. Bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Power's injury. Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Power's ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Power's injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look within the costume. But she couldn't walk with that kind of takes the leg out from under the case, Mr. Wright. I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. Nobody knows. That trouble I seen. Maybe move on, Mr. Wright. Grr, the fight isn't over yet. If you will, I will have one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. The security lady. That's one. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Whoa.
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning injury. I was going to pick her, but maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order, order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag! That's Miss... Oh, back to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In her other words, she had no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai's costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she would point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yes, right there. Sherlock Holmes, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with objection to some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecutor has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it?
Edgy boy, don't you just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now my chance to take this whole way. Press further, baby. I don't know why I went against my gut. The very same reason that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubts on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forgot that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too. Indeed. That did it. Now Winbeck is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He only a grade schooler, though, as you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my own man in 10 seconds, top.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright. That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it to be nice to the kids and mean to your elders, day whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see the proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have been committed this murder? Yeah. The photo! Look at it, Your Honor! The murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
Brr.
The windbag, speechless. This has to got to be the first. Very well. This court will suspend processing on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something old bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run up barking up the wrong tree. Me, I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omit something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. I don't trust her, man.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they haven't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this away from court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to stop my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producers for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where are these people?
The director was in the employees area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the garden map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but...
Continue.
They said they had nothing to do with it, see? Nick, I guess pressing her was the right thing to do. For I know she's just like... Alright. So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwig, no less.
Why did I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We're all in on it.
Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that, silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Guess there's no harm in getting as much info as I can. So they were actually in the studio?
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came.
I'll kill this woman, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. She really left him hanging on this one. Them. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director? We should have known. Oh, I heard. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day processing in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I?
Well, we'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigation. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turned up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the steel samurai costume? Could it really
Have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Wingback, I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusations. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. To be continued. I'll see you guys next time. Let me see first. Alright, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Take care.